there and welcome to another interesting time on Marketing Edge on TV, Nigerians' leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute wholesome package that comprises brand news, branding forecast, and industry conversation, all in a mix, encompassing, thorough and in-depth, all aimed at promoting the brand idea. I'm Ogali Mafuru.
The stage is set, the cameras are in focus, and the captains are on board. Make way for the marketing gladiators at the Marketing Edge's annual 2-in-1 event, the National Marketing Stakeholders Summit and Marketing Edge Brands and Advertising Awards of Excellence. Expect fresh marketing insights at the summit themed Rethinking the Blue Ocean Strategy in Uncertain Times, and watch new marketing legends emerge at the Marketing Edge Brands and Advertising Awards of Excellence. The summit will hold virtually on the 26th, while the awards gala holds on the 27th of August 2021 at the luxurious The Podium International Event Center on Aromire Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Be our special guest at this 2-day event, which promises to be the toast of the marketing communication industry for a long time to come. Whatever you do, don't miss this. Marketing Edge, promoting the brand idea.
Good to have you back. First on Marketing Edge on TV is Brand News, where we'll bring you the latest happenings around brands and in the field of marketing, advertising, and communication in Nigeria and around the globe. Now on Brand News. Propelled by his resolve to continuously set agenda for the integrated marketing communications IMC industry, Nigeria's foremost brands and marketing publication Marketing Edge has lined up no fewer than 22 industry intellectuals and distinguished professionals as guest speakers for its 2021 Marketing Stakeholders Summit, scheduled to hold 26th August 2021. The virtual summit, themed Rethinking the Blue Ocean Strategy in Uncertain Times, will feature speakers including global thought leaders, academics, captains of industries, and outstanding professionals from the marketing communications industry and beyond. Lead speaker and keynote presenter is Chief Executive Officer of OGV Africa, Mr. Vikas Mehta. It would be recalled that the summit, in its 8th edition, has become a forum where stakeholders and thought leaders gather to expand the frontiers of discourse and set agenda for the IMC industry. The virtual event will precede the much-awaited Brands and Advertising Awards of Excellence, scheduled for August 27, 2021 at the Podium Event Center, Ikeja, Lagos. The Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, APCON, has reiterated its resolve to erect a paradigm shift in the advertising industry through the constitution and implementation of its new reform. Speaking in an interview with Marketing Edge on TV, the Registrar of the Regulatory Agency, Dr. Lekon Fadolapo, reaffirming his resolve, assured that his administration is determined to see a vibrantly articulated industry where laws and ethical standards are faithfully and dutifully complied with. Dr. Fadolapo averred that to address the challenges bedeviling the industry, the agency had to review its laws and code of ethics to be at par with international best practices. On the much expected constitution of the Advertising Governing Council, Dr. Fadolapo revealed that efforts are in top gear to ensure speedy realization, but stressed that the agency will continue to hold strong its tenets and aspirations for the industry as it awaits the action from the presidency.
The last time the code was reviewed was like 9 years ago. So we got the minister's approval. So they are reviewing the code now in line with best practices so that we can bring our practice to the current state in line with what is obtainable in Nigeria and international practices. So that's where we are now. We're trying to push the frontier. We're trying to improve on the way and manner we do this. So we are trying to face those challenges with our our resources that we believe is yet inadequate for us.
The Chief Operating Officer of Polk Limited, an advertising consultancy company, Mr. Udurafel, has described internet penetration as a huge driver of growth in the industry. The advertising consultant who made this assertion in an interview with Marketing Edge on TV stated that the 21st century businesses requires internet-enabled communities where customers can easily access the internet. He noted that there has been increasing transition from traditional media to technological-driven media, which makes internet accessibility very vital for industry growth.
Access to the internet would propel a lot of businesses in Nigeria today, which would then lead to a lot of investments in advertising. Maybe not traditional advertising, but if you check around the world, around the globe, a lot of economies are moving from the traditional and spending a lot of their budget on digital and social space.
But that was brand news. Next is Brand in Focus after this break.
I need help! So please go to the market and get me everything I need to cook this food. Get my pepper and get my onions. I'm waiting. Do you know how to buy pepper? Do you know how to buy satashi? You won't even let my mother come and stay. I need help! Do you don't know how stressful it is taking care of these 3 kids? Are you still there? If you're not getting me fresh meat, do you understand?
Okay, I'm at the
Can you
meet.
switch to video call, please? Okay, get me that one. The one by your side.
Okay, please.
Where do I buy all these things now? Hey, go get Glow Berekete and call madam.
Berekete. The heavyweight voice and data plan. Get 600 naira free credit plus 700% bonus on every recharge and up to 100% bonus on data plans.
We don't almost reach, Abby. Okay. Guys, the mechanic is almost here. Stay on the line. So what do you think is wrong?
Madam, not be smart way they worry this your bike. Carburetor and radiator, you don't pafuka. If you want to fix that, 50,000.
I guess I have no choice. Give me size 10 Allen Q.
Madam, the top don't spoil now. You need to buy new one. New one at 16,000.
Thanks for the help, guys. I'll be on my way now. For renting your tools.
Ride the digital wave for the whole year with 1 terabyte of data for just 100,000 naira. Dial star 777 hash.
Are you ready for this?
Let me hear you, AJ. Give me some bass.
Just
one.
That good for you?
Just one more. Just one
Nice,
more.
AJ.
Just one more. Just one.
Bring it out.
Just one more. Just one more.
Double it.
Just one more. Just one more. Just one more.
I was born hungry for success. It's the Nigerian way. Glow gets it. Champions stay hungry. Oh yeah. Glow gets it big time.
Hit the big time with 22 times bonus on every recharge. Dial star 777 hash. It's a knockout.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand ideal.
Now on Brand in Focus. The recent election of a new set of leaders for the Lagos State Nigerian Institute of Public Relations NIPR chapter has presented another opportunity for practitioners in the industry to look inwards with a view to rejigging and re-strategizing on the future of public relations consultancy. While it is not as if the immediate past ESCO of the Institute did not do their best while in office, the point should be that the best is yet to come for the Institute, which has not established itself firmly on managing and executing its statutory duties and obligations. The Lagos State chapter of NIPR, being a frontline chapter of the national body, needs to do some rethinking in moving the industry forward. At the moment, the perception out there in the minds of corporate organizations and advertisers who want to hire the services of PR practitioners is nothing to write home about. Despite the fact that modern PR predated contemporary advertising, the reality out there is that advertising has taken the shine off modern PR in terms of perception as a serious business and a relevant and key partner in the management of brand business and the business of brand management. The new ESCO of the Lagos chapter of NIPR should, as a matter of urgency, commence stakeholders' engagement in making them to appreciate and engage PR in their businesses. Engaging players across industries on the impact and value of PR is sequential in ensuring the growth and development of the industry. Today, some organizations and multinationals who hire the services of PR practitioners more often than not appear unsatisfied and unconvinced over the response they get when they ask PR agencies to explain the metrics used in measuring PR value on brands' campaign. To convince brand owners and prospective clients, the industry as a sectoral group should resolve the issue of unclear metrics and how to calculate in realistic and convincing terms the PR value of all briefs. Failure to resolve this riddle will continue to create credibility challenge for the industry and the practice in terms of value delivery within the overall value chain. Also important for the newest school of Lagos NIPR is the age-long issue of identifying quacks in the industry and handing them over to law enforcement agencies, while the national body of NIPR has all the statutory powers to drive this process. It remains very doubtful if the willpower is available.
Well, that was Branding Focus. Next is Industry Conversation, where we interact with big players in the industry who have been at the forefront of strategic positioning of brands. Well, last week we started a conversation with the CEO of Lady Brave Limited, Mrs. Bumioke. Today we will be continuing on that conversation after this break.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. It a fun say sabi. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass me your power. You want to show yourself, oh.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Here today, gone tomorrow. Cause you volatile like the water. And you promise what you don't know. Sometimes it's right and then it's so wrong. Them go do like say them wise. Will promise you the world. My brother all now worship. Up all on be open eye. I see no be water. Catching up the letter.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
to share this 5 million. However,
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand ideal.
Mrs. Bumioke, before founding Ladybird Limited, she was the Chief Operating Officer and Executive Director of one of the leading integrated marketing communication agency in Nigeria, 141 Worldwide, now Nitro 121, an international agency which is a member of WPP Group, the largest communications group in the world. And she one time was the president of the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria, AAAN. So pleased to have you again.
Thank you very much. Let's talk a bit about your agency. How will you assess the current positioning of Ladybird Limited?
Thank you. Well, Ladybird has one advantage, having seen the old and the new. We have what we call a consultancy model for which we operate. And that means we have some full-time staff. We also work with consultants, which is the way the future is. So when we have big projects, we work with consultants on those projects. The other thing we do that is an advantage is that we also have a target for, we have what we call a cause. We're also interested in building SMEs because a lot of countries around the world have come to realize that the SMEs are the ones that fuel businesses in that country. But many of them don't have the ability to access professional services. And I actually learned that from Wimbys because I actually was headhunted at a point for a training to trainers. I was headhunted as they wanted a female. There were about 5 of us. We came from an NGO, and they wanted us to train women in handcraft, and they took us to Uganda for a training. It was actually by an NGO called Vital Voices and in conjunction with Mobile and Wimbys. And this was almost 10 years ago in 2011. And they got us back into Nigeria, and we started training women in handicraft to export commodities to the United States using international standards. I know the Americans, they understand marketing communications. So they made sure that they had a marketing communication expert who humbly was myself at that point. And it got me thinking that when I get to my next phase of life, after I finish the big agencies, well, it's nice, but we want to also build Nigerian businesses that also can become global giants. The Googles of this world, they all started from, so when you heard their stories, some of them from garages, from the Facebooks. So we're saying, but they also knew what they needed. They never shortchanged themselves on professional services. Whether it's in Nigeria, we forget that marketing communication is a professional service. Like you have with lawyers, you have with your auditors, you have with your accountants, and what have you. So we started by realizing that we have a training format now for SMEs, where we first train them to understand why you need marketing communication. And then we later get them to use the services of an agency. It could be ours, it could be any, but they start understanding. And that's the kind of model we want to try and use to. So we have a training arm, which has been good because we've even trained with even Lagos State. They've consulted with us to do things like that. In fact, at the point, I was so privileged to be called to even do a brand and messaging training for Lagos State because they suddenly realized that they are brand ambassadors, they are staff, they don't realize. But they never heard that kind of thing, that you're a brand builder and you have to build that brand. And we do that. So my point is, as an agency, we've just taken out some learning curves of what we've done over the years. And we've also realized that because of COVID, everything is digitally inclined. So almost half our work comes online. Half our business is run online. And you find that you do not need 5-story buildings like they started before. What you need is the expertise. And I've come to realize, without electricity, without the internet, you are not even in business. Once you have that, 50% and then you have the expertise of the people you need, then you get the clients. You find that at least you start to build your business. And that is our model. And we also have a soft spot for women inclined businesses. Soft spot doesn't mean we don't. That's why we call ourselves Ladybird. But that lady is not what is lady. It's an insect. People think it's lady. There are lads in ladies. And you see lads around. But the whole idea is just to realize that, like ladybirds, they nurture. Nurturing is like, it's hard work, but it's fulfilling because you have to explain to them, why will you do this? So you do a lot of training. And then you grow those businesses. But I'm hoping that in another 5-10 years, by the time those businesses become Fortune, we're hoping that we'll be able to be behind Fortune 500 Nigerian companies that will eventually understand that without marketing, you're not going to go far. You have to understand what marketing communication does for your business, And we hope that we'll be able to come out there and say, yes, Ladybird has always been part of this our nurturing.
Yes.
That's our model.
Yes. So let's have a bit on your agency. What is the rationale for setting up this agency? You mentioned that it's for motivation and nurturing, small scale businesses. But what could be other reasons?
One of my major reasons for setting up was the fact that it was a divine calling to set up an agency that specializes in understanding women and women-centric businesses and women-centric goods and services. A lot of people don't realize that the reason why you have a lot of black cars and white cars is because there are very few women that are in manufacturing. So if they don't even think, nobody's even suggesting them that you can have a pink car or you can have even a yellow car, because women are empowered. Apart from that, packaging, you find that when you have men and women, you find that the thinking, and it has been proven that the thinking of men and women is different, However, it's collaborative, you get a fantastic result. So we started realizing that when men think only for women, and women don't also put their input into what they want, they will give you what they understand. But you find that I keep on trying to explain to people that the big idea was that a passion to actually use all my years of experience to build businesses that are female-oriented, and also to empower and encourage women to also pursue advertising as a profession that you can try and you can have fun. So at this point, it's like giving back, because after 30 years, you also can build, build brands, build people, build communities, and what have you. So that was our niche. Apart from that, it gave us the opportunity to also, that's why, like you said, use an effeminate agency, because I found that you go to most agencies, it came out of the fact that at the background, people used to think I was a man, because in advertising, you don't put you don't put whether you're Mrs. or whatever, you just put Bumiogi. So it was one day, I had seen it a lot of times where people say, oh, I thought, you Bumi, you're a man. I say, I'm not a man. To be successful, I don't have to be a man to be successful. I can be successful as a woman. And I wanted people to understand that let's understand this thing. Women can think for themselves. They have needs. They have their understanding. They also have to choose things. And you can have an effeminate office. I might choose a cup with a flower. It doesn't necessarily mean just because I like it. But if you don't have women around, you won't see a feminine office. And that's why you find that in any office, whether it's an advertising or even if it's a bank, you always know when the HR person or somebody in charge is a lady, because you start seeing flower pots in some places. Some places you won't even see flower. If at the whole decor, you say, you can see it's a masculine environment. Just like in a home. You know when a woman is in a home and when a woman is not in a home. So it's the same thing. We're just trying to say, in advertising, you need the input of both men and women to get a good job done. And that was one of our successes of all the agencies I've worked in. You have both men and women. So in Ladybird, we have ladies and lads. In Ladybird, that's why lads are men, ladies are. But however, we are the feminist brand of advertising. That's just it.
Okay, so the next question is, so far, how far with your agency, if you want to track your
We're growing.
success?
We're 4 years. I might be long in the industry, but we're 4 years old. And I said, we'll say God has been good. I found that our model, in fact, let me be honest with you, our model really came to be valuable during COVID, because we were very busy during COVID, because we didn't have we didn't have to sack anybody during COVID. We were able to keep our staff because we were already a slim built agency. And the consultants, what we simply did is that if we didn't need them, we didn't work with them, and we didn't have to pay that extra thing. Just like with a doctor, if you're not doing an operation, you don't need to, So, but the people that you needed to do certain things, we were able to work online. And in fact, most of us were working from home and I found that also the needs of clients are evolving. For example, we have a lot of research and blog writing that we do now, because clients want things online. But from a marketing communication perspective, you are telling a story, but you are indirectly selling. That is a new skill that is evolving. It's not before, unless you come onto an advert and say, come and buy it. Things are changing. Now people are going on the internet. They are reading stories. Even the content online. We are content providers. People want to read stories, but they don't want it to be obvious that only on their lower tag. But you give them information, you educate, but at the same time, you use a software to say, have you thought of the fact that you could have flown with this airline? You say, I didn't know they do this. In fact, it's going to be very educative, because you find that now consumers are very well informed. So any marketing communication that doesn't add value to the consumer, they're not even interested in that ad. But if you find a way of adding to their needs, then they can now listen to your own problems as an advertiser. That's what I'm trying to say. That somebody who wants to buy a car, first he just maybe wants a car to take him from A to B. But by the time you tell him that, have you thought of a petrol efficient car? Have you thought? Okay, then they start considering that. Or is that, have you thought about buying this online? They say, oh, but have you realized that there are so many other ways? Your phone, you can bank on your phone. This same bank, we now, and look at what even the banks are making. Everybody's banking online. Look at what COVID did. Everybody started back. If you did, even an illiterate now, he knows how to use their phone to do banking. You know, if not for COVID, would that have happened today? It became even, it even soared before. So the point I'm making, if you didn't go to the bank before, go and queue, you know, and get your tally number. But so what I'm trying to say is that the same way society is evolving is the same way our profession and the needs of clients are evolving, and we have to just move with that. A lot of people don't understand how agencies are built. They just think maybe you are just flashy, you are just very avant-garde. No, we provide value, and the moment we make them realize we provide value by creating visibility in a strategic way, then you now come up with the creative way of providing, but there's a strategy behind it. I am of the school of thought that strategy drives visibility and creativity, not that creativity drives strategy. I think strategy first. What is your plan first? That's why you must understand the business so that you can get your fundamentals right, and then you must then have your creative differentiation. So they must work hand in hand.
I must say thank you so much for making our time to be with us on Industry Conversation.
It's a pleasure.
The stage is set, the cameras are in focus, and the captains are on board. Make way for the marketing gladiators at the Marketing Edge's annual 2-in-1 event, the National Marketing Stakeholders Summit and Marketing Edge Brands and Advertising Awards of Excellence. Expect fresh marketing insights at the summit-themed Rethinking the Blue Ocean Strategy in Uncertain Times, and watch new marketing legends emerge at the Marketing Edge Brands and Advertising Awards of Excellence. The summit will hold virtually on the 26th, while the awards gala holds on the 27th of August 2021 at the luxurious The Podium International Event Center on Aromire Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Be our special guest at this 2-day event, which promises to be the toast of the marketing communication industry for a long time to come. Whatever you do, don't miss this. Marketing Edge, promoting the brand idea.
That's it on Marketing Edge on TV. Do well to join us again for another interactive time of the program, same time next week. I'm Ogali Mafiru. Bye for now.